All you do is throw 12 volts to it now. And there it is. What's up, everybody? You're watching Car Smart TV, and today I'm going to show you how to test the 36 volt DCS EasyGo TXT electric motor. There are differences. You have your series, and then you have your PDS, then your DCS. And the series and PDS are completely different tests from the DCS motor. So that's what we're going to do today, and let's jump into it. So here is our motor, and of course my tag to show you where the positions are is completely blacked out. It's been painted over at some point, I assume, but you have your A1, your S1, your A2, and your S2. So what you're going to do is you're going to take and loop with an extra set of wires, and I'll show you how I did that here in just a moment. Alright, so you take a looper wire like this. You're going to hook these together. And just so you guys know that this can be done in the cart. All you have to do is just take the battery power off your pack and unhook all 4 wires from the cart motor. Take you a looper like this, and a jump box will work, because all you need to do is provide it with 12 volts to see if it's going to move. Alright, so you get the other side looped up here, and at that point you get your stuff tightened down. Okay, now this is where it can get a little confusing at first, but it's super easy to just remember that power goes to A1 and negative goes to S2 when you do this. So we're going to take our negative, hook it to the S2, take our positive, hook it to the A1, and then we're going to go ahead and throw 12 volts to it. Okay guys, so I just realized that showing you the test on the ground is a little more difficult than actually being in the cart. For one, it's because the armature isn't staying lined up. If you slide the motor back on to the rear end there, it stays lined up and centered. So it's definitely going to be a little easier to do this while the motor is still in the cart. Probably the best thing to do anyway, just because it'll make it a little less difficult. But we're going to throw some 12 volts at it real quick and do this test again. Okay, so throwing 12 volts to it now. There it is. So we know that this cart's got a good motor. So that's how you do it. Remember, you loop your S1 and A1 together, you loop your S2 and A2 together, and then you use S2 for your negative, A1 for your positive, and you feed it 12 volts power, and you should get it to turn the wheels on the golf cart just like you've seen. If it doesn't, that means you definitely have something wrong with the motor, whether it be with brushes, the armature, or the field coil itself. But at that point you really do understand that it's a motor issue. So now that we've got this figured out, that the motor is still good, we're going to move on. Alright guys, so I wanted to bring some things to you guys' attention. I've had a few questions about, what kind of system, especially with just electric golf carts period, what kind of electrical system do I have in my golf cart, because I'm not sure what kind of motor I have. to be able to know how to test it. So I'm going to use two different brands of golf carts, but it's going to be the same principle. The principle remains exactly the same for the systems. So let's jump into that. Alright, so we're going to start out with a 2000 Club Car DS. Okay, and this is a 48 volt system. Okay, so in this golf cart, the telltale to know if you have resistor, series, or regen is going to be if you see a tow run switch somewhere here in your battery compartment. Okay, so this golf cart does not have a tow run switch. Generally it's going to be right around in this area if you do see one on your club car. It does not have the tow run switch, so this cart would be classified as a series cart. Okay, now if your DS has a tow run toggle switch right here, then you're going to have a regen braking system in this golf cart, which puts some power to the motor. It regens the battery voltage as well. Helps slow the cart down. Like if it happens to start just going too fast, it'll initially just kick in and start slowing the cart down for you. Plus, your code for your year model is actually going to have the letters AQ or IQ somewhere. So that's going to bring us to the EasyGo. Okay, now EasyGo, they have the older version of regen, they have series, and then they have the newer version of the regen. Okay, so when you're looking at the EasyGo, if it does not have a tow run switch, that's going to be your series model golf cart. But like this one has a tow run switch on it, so it's going to be your older model regen system. Your new model will have the forward and reverse right here on the dash, which is called PDS. So now we're going to move over to testing a series motor, okay, and how you can wire it up. This is one way. You can go from A1 to S2. You can put your ground on S1 and your power to S2 or A2, and put that 12 volts there, and that motor should spin. And you can also take this end off, and you can go from A1 to S1, and you can put ground on S2, power to A2, put the 12 volts to it, and it should spin. So I'm going to grab a motor that I know is good, because this one is not, and we are going to test it right here on the bench. Now mind you, it's not very good to really test them on the bench. It's better to test them in the cart due to the weight of the armature, and you can see this thing has a little play in it. This will sometimes get kind of locked up against the magnetic field, and that is not a good thing. So the best thing you could do is just test it in the golf cart, and you just remove all four wires, do your loop, put the power to it, and your wheels should turn. But we're gonna test one on the bench real quick, just for a few seconds, and let it turn over. Okay guys, so this is a series model EasyGo motor. Okay, and you can see how I've got it looped here, A1 to S1, and then I've got my ground on the S2, I've got my power on the A2. Okay, so all you do is throw 12 volts to it now. And there it is. So all you need just a couple of seconds to know that it's actually working, and that's how you do that. And so you do the same if you had a resistor cart, which the resistor motor works off of coils or solenoids that are right here across this on both the EasyGo and the club car systems. If you have resistor carts, okay, you still loop it the same way, put power to it the same way, and you should get the same results. But also remember that generally your motor is not your problem. It's not something that I see very often. Most of the time your problem is before the motor, between the foot switch and the EasyGo, or the ITS sensor and the EasyGo, or the pot box and the old school EasyGos, or either like the little square box with the red cap on it in the club cars, or the V-Glide in the club cars. So you know, most of your older stuff was going to run between your early to mid 80s to around the 2002, and then they changed almost all of their carts to the regen system at that point. And yeah, I hope that you guys get some good info out of this, and it helps somebody out there that's having some troubles with trying to narrow down what they could have a problem with. Now let me remind you that you test these motors in your golf cart. It's so much easier on the motor because it's keeping it in a straight line with the input shaft. So just keep all that in mind, guys, and if you got any questions about this, please feel free to reach out to us. We'll do everything we can to get you back up and running and getting these motors tested if you think that's your problem. But hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button, like our videos, comment on them, share them, hit that notification bell, guys. Don't forget about all that so you can keep up to speed with us. And I hope you have a wonderful day.